this comes with I don't know what you call it. It'd be a trigger warning or something, but I'm going to talk about something that might not be appropriate for kids. So if you want to screen this video, that's just fine. But I want to tell you about something that happened to me just recently, but I need to kind of set it up first. So I've been in a fight for a number of years now with pornography. I said that wrong. I was in a fight for a number of years with pornography, and I began to win a few years ago. And the way that I began to win was with the help of my wife and with the help of I guess I would say, like a suite of habits that I changed. And this is not to my credit. Ultimately, I think the thing that has done it the most is actually prayer and fellowship with my wife, helping me with a number of things. So we began to build a number of walls around, kind of around me in a way, but also around our kids and around my wife. But really, walls we built around me, and those walls included things like parental controls on my phone that my wife has the code to. Like on our internet router. I put all kinds of things on our internet router that's supposed to stop this sort of thing. I mean, so we built a number of kind of digital walls around ourselves to try to protect me from having to deal constantly with this temptation. Now, in addition to that, I began to pray on a daily basis that God would help me to overcome this sin. And then in the moment when I am being tempted, which does still happen, obviously, sometimes, I'm praying in that moment, sometimes out loud, Lord, help me overcome this, or whatever wording it is. But these habits have worked actually really well to overcome the pornography that I used to look at. And so this has been in place for a number of years, and it's really worked. I'm interested in teaching other people to do the same thing because it's worked for me. It might not work if I were still single, because a big part of the plan is having my wife be a helper. Now, a lot of guys say, I can't tell my wife. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not telling you whether you should or not, but it worked for me. So, proceed with caution on that. I don't know. I don't know your wife. I don't know your situation. But I think a lot of guys use that as an excuse just because nobody wants to tell their wife. I don't like telling my wife, when I'm tempted or whatever. But that communication is powerful. It really does. It really does help. Okay, so fast forward to yesterday morning, Sunday morning. I'm a preacher, by the way, so I preach every Sunday. I was going to be preaching at 11 a.m. I was sitting on my couch at probably 8 a.m. or something like that, and the kids were dressed for church. We were getting ready. We were going to be leaving pretty soon, and there I was on my phone, and I was checking our Periscope feeds. And so our Periscope live streams, which you may be watching this on Periscope, it's possible. I was checking them because I don't look at it much. It's a live stream platform. I just wanted to check in because we do a lot of ministry videos. So we share the gospel. We teach people about discipleship on Periscope, Twitter and Facebook and all these. Okay. So I was checking that feed on the couch, 8 a.m., the day before I was going to go and preach. And I looked at our Periscope feed and looked good. It's fine. Videos looked okay. I thought, okay, that's working. And there, right below the video of me preaching about, I don't know, sin or something, I'm not sure, there was a video that looked like it could be pornographic. Now, it was one of those where the thumbnail looked sort of like it might be. I mean, there's obviously sometimes you see them and you're like, I know what that is. I'm going to stay away from that, and that's a little bit easier. This one was one that was like, I think that's probably pornographic. But it was sort of like, in my mind, it was kind of like plausible deniability, right? I mean, like, maybe it's not. So here's what my conscience was saying to do. My conscience, and I think probably the Spirit who indwells me, was saying, get out, get away from that. You close the app, whatever. I didn't know. I didn't. So there I am. I can hear the kids in the back of the house, and I clicked on it. You know, and now remember, in my mind, I've created, I thought, a safe environment. I thought, I'm in a safe, we've built walls, and I'm okay. So maybe this isn't what I think it is. Well, it was. It was one of those things where, for a second or so, it wasn't pornographic, but then somebody started taking their clothes off, and I was like, okay, once again, my conscience, I think the Spirit, was saying, and by the way, I don't know that your conscience or your spirit are the same. This isn't a theology video. I'm not sure. Just something in me was saying, close it, get out, run away. I didn't for about 8 seconds. Now, I don't know how long the video was. It went on and, whatever. But I watched it maybe 8 to 10 seconds. Plenty for me to be extremely convicted about it. To realize that, okay, that was sin. And by the way, this is a big part of you getting over pornography. If you're trying, you got to admit what it is. It's a sin. It's a sin when you pursue it. When you go looking. And part of it is like moving the line. Consistently moving the line back from where it used to be on what you define as sin. I mean, the more in tune with the Spirit you get, I think, you begin to refine your definition of sin, and you begin to realize that many things that you used to not call sin, they actually are sin. So there I am, 8 a.m., a few hours before I'm going to preach to people, telling them how to be holy or whatever, and I'm sitting there in the house looking at 8 seconds of porn. And it's despicable, and it's terrible. But here's the thing that I was reminded, because I didn't fall down the rabbit hole on this one. So, yay me, right? But I didn't fall down the rabbit hole. It was 8 seconds. It was a discrete event, and it's the first time it's happened in years. But here's what I think Satan would want me to do, is to keep it quiet, to kind of wrap it up in the dark, keep it in the shadows. I don't believe in that. I think we need to be talking about how we overcome this. Okay, so here's what happens for me after that happened. Immediately, close the app, delete the app. That was my response. I don't want that app on my phone ever again. And now I've deleted most of my social media apps on my phone. I do social media on a computer when there's other people around in the office at the ministry, but on my phone, it's too easy to go into the bathroom and pretend as if I'm working, but I'm not, I don't do that anymore. Used to, though. So that's the first thing. Delete the app. Then I deleted the other social media apps. And then the hard part comes. I admitted it to my wife. And not on the way to church. I decided to wait until after church and, wait into the evening. But I knew I need to tell my wife about this. We need to talk about it. I need to reiterate my commitment, and also I need to confess it to the Lord, which is a really important step. You may think, why would you do that? But it's very important that you do that. Even if you keep falling, you keep failing, it's very important that you confess it every time you ask for forgiveness and you keep moving forward. It's part of the process of staying in fellowship with the Lord. If you don't do that, it puts you in a bad place. And I've been in that place, years ago, and it was not good. Makes it easier for you to fall into the sin again if you don't confess it. So I confessed it. I asked again for the Lord to give me the strength to overcome this. And here we are. It's a Monday morning. It's a new day. And and there's one more thing that I noticed. Because I have not looked at porn in quite a few years, what's happened is I've grown in some different ways, in that seeing that yesterday then had a residual effect on me for the rest of the day, and even through the night, and even into this morning, where my fleshly mind is saying, oh, I want to go finish that video. I want to go, watch the rest of it. Now, I'm not going to do that, and hopefully I've deleted it, and I wouldn't even be able to find it. But that's what my flesh is saying. Now, back in the day, what I would have done is I would have given in to my flesh, because I didn't have the habits to help protect me from this. Now, I hope this doesn't sound prideful, because I am capable of falling, and I'm capable of failing, and I don't want to fail. And it's part of why I'm telling you guys, is because I really believe that it doesn't help anybody to shove this stuff into the shadows and pretend like it doesn't happen. I think we need to confess to the Lord. I think we need to confess to our allies, like if it's your wife or your husband. But we also, I think, need to confess to one another. And so that's what I'm doing. And now you see why I said this video is probably not for kids. I'm talking to you adults who are dealing with the same kind of thing. And so you may be thinking, well, but, it doesn't come with consequences. Look, I'm a preacher. Nobody has higher consequences in telling people what their failures are in this arena than I do. Now, obviously, this is not a habit for me anymore, but it used to be, not while I was doing ministry, but not while I was doing my current ministry. Certainly back in the day when I was in youth ministry, it was a habit then, and I'm ashamed to say that now, but I've written, this is in part of some of my books, so this isn't like I'm coming out of a closet right now or something. I mean, I've talked about this before, but anyway, this is an important subject, and it's got a stranglehold on our country. It's got a stranglehold on our world, and I want to fight it. And the only way I know how to fight it is to talk about it openly and talk about it as if it's not something taboo, but it's just another sin that we need to be careful about and we need to be working on. So here is my challenge. I want you to reach out to me if you need help with this. I can't fix you. I can't even convince you that you need to stop. So don't send me a message if you don't really want to stop. But if you've tried to stop and you're struggling, let's start a conversation about it. I want to talk to you about it. Maybe we can get together, put our heads together, and figure out a way for you to stop. My plan for stopping might be different than yours, but I'd like to believe that anybody who's a believer, who has the Spirit in them, can actually overcome this. So I tripped yesterday, but ultimately, in the broad sweep of things, I'm actually seeing success based on obeying what Christ told me to do, which is pray daily to overcome sin and to be involved in fellowship with people that are good accountability allies. So, all right, I think that's enough. Maybe you get the idea. Hope this didn't disgust you, or but if I get fired from my ministry for being honest about my sin, well, so be it. All right, we'll see you later.